everyone. Welcome to the daily podcast. And today on the show, we have an interesting personality. He comes from a community that's known for its black and white fur, their infinite cuteness, and of course, bamboos. The giant cat bear, or Da Xiaongmao, the once endangered but now vulnerable giant panda, or Ailuropoda melanoleuca. We have the ambassador of the Panda community, Mr. Xiaongmao, here with us today to give us insights on the Panda community. Hello, Mr. Xiaongmao. Welcome to the daily podcast. Great to have you here. I would really love if you could introduce yourself a bit to my audience.
Yes, sure. Hi, I am Xiaongmao. I'm the ambassador of the panda community. My job is to spread awareness about pandas and their life and nature. I extensively work to be a voice for my panda fellows on the international level. I try to spread awareness about the threats that our community is facing and also what makes our community so special and unique among many of the animal kingdom fellows. Thank you.
So today on the show, we will be talking to Mr. Xiaongmao as he takes us through some interesting facts about pandas and their status in the IUCN Red List. Before we start, for my viewers who may not know what the IUCN Red List is, let me briefly explain it to you. First of all, IUCN stands for the International Union for Conservation of Nature. This Red List is specifically a sort of a category, a list of all sorts of animal, fungus, and plant species that could be at the risk of global extinction. Now, there are 9 categories in the red list, such as the extinct, extinct in the wild, critically endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, least concern, data deficient, and not evaluated. The threatened category, the category that or the group that contains like the species that are threatened in the world include the 3 categories that are the vulnerable, endangered, and critically endangered species. Now that this is clear, we can begin our discussion with Mr. Xiaongmao. So I would love if you could begin a little bit by talking about the general stuff. Maybe tell us a bit about the scientific name, the general name, to get us started with the discussion here.
Yes. So the thing is that the scientific name for giant pandas, Ailuropoda melanoleuca, it translates to black and white cat foot. Essentially, referring to the black and white fur that our community is known for. The common name, the name that you would refer to us with, is the giant panda. Well, it has an interesting story to it. So, you see, the scientific observers, they noticed that there was some sort of similarity between us and the red pandas, which red pandas were like discovered about like 50 years before us, and they saw that we had the similar diet and similar paw structure, and because of these similarities, as is the case, they assumed we come from the same family. However, it was later revealed that we were actually unrelated. However, the names have remained red panda and of course giant panda because they had to differentiate between us panda and the red pandas. We also have a Chinese name that has an interesting bit of information to it, Da Xiaongmao, which translates to giant cat bear, and that is because we have a bit of similarity between the felines and us. We have very similar eyes. Just like the members of the cat family, our eyes have vertical slits for the pupils. The pupils are like vertical slits, and just like cats, we also have it too. And therefore, we called like giant cat bear, because we have same eyes, and that gives us excellent night vision, and so it helps us in looking for food in low light. Nice. um that's actually really cute. uh I can see why pandas are seen as cute by people. You said the red pandas and pandas were found to be unrelated. So, what species do pandas really relate to then, if not red pandas? Bears. The thing is that pandas scientifically are bears. We share the same stuff. But it wasn't easy for like researchers to conclude that we are bears. uh, they weren't sure how they would classify us, because unlike other bear species, we aren't really omnivorous, because we eat a lot of bamboo, and so for a lot of years they just did not know what we are, and so they kind of classified us as related to raccoons and red pandas. It was in like 1990s that they did extensive research that, well, that showed that actually we are from the same family as other bears, the family Ursidae, and we share close genetic relationship with the bears. um, some of the things that compare us with bears are the diet and the presence of a thumb-like appendage, thumbs to grip bamboos. Okay, I see. um Moving on. You said earlier that your black and white fur, you mentioned something about the black and white fur, being a part in your, name. The name that you have gotten, the scientific name you have gotten, has a lot to do with the black and white fur you have. So, what's so unique about this black and white fur? Yeah. That's a really nice question, because black and white, two really contrasting colors, can actually make you stand out. If you're wearing black and white, I mean, of course, if you're wearing white, it can be really bright and you can see it, and then you have black on it, and it's going to be very noticeable. But actually, this fur helps us in camouflaging, if you may. So yes, it's true. Like, if you come close to us, if you stand really close, you will see us. The fur will not be able to hide us in the green forest habitat that we have. However, at a distance, such as maybe 50 meters or more than that, it's really hard for predators to make out a shape among the trees. And there's also a balance, like a yin and yang balance between the black and white pattern that we have, an evolutionary balance, if you may, because we live in this area which is snowy in winter and hot in summer. So what essentially happens is that the light fur, the white fur that we have, helps us blend into snowy environments, of course, because it's white. But the dark part of our body, the dark eyes, the limbs, and all the airs, they help us blend into the shadows when it's sunny. So it's like a balance. You're black, it helps you hide in shadows. You're white, it helps you hide in snow. So this balance is like, it's really interesting. Wow. That is quite an interesting thing. A really amazing thing to think, like how evolution has helped you balance between two colors and helped you use both of them in your own way to camouflage and survive. My follow-up question to your point would be, because you said you live in snowy areas, winter it's snow and it's hot in summer. Where do pandas live? Like, what's their home? So the thing is that giant pandas, they are found in the mountain regions of central China. I mean, it's obvious that we are from China. We have now been associated with the entire thing. Our habitat has this main factor that comes up over and over, and that's bamboo forests. We also have other mixed coniferous trees, broadleaf trees, but essentially it's bamboo forests. The mountains of Chinling or Minshan or Xiaongmao. These are a few mountain ranges where giant pandas are found in China, and they can, go up to like 1200, 3400 meters above the sea level, because the higher you go, the cooler and the more suitable it is for bamboo, which is, of course, a crucial part of our food, uh, you know, our food plate. And of course, bamboo forests, because bamboo are a primary food source, as I just said, so they are the essential part of our habitat. But of course, you can find us in other mixed forests, where there are other types of trees, but bamboo still is main in our habitat. Okay, I see. Since you said you are from China, what impact does it have on you, on your community, being from China? What's the entire thing? What's the impact? Um, that's a good question. And I can see why. I mean, of course, there's a movie called Kung Fu Panda, and we have become this sort of important symbol to China, a sort of unofficial national symbol, part of Chinese culture and folklore for now centuries. Uh, we appear in a lot of art, literature, mythology, symbolizing strength and bravery. And of course, we are seen as gentle and peaceful and can embody traditional Chinese values. One important thing that is there is panda diplomacy. Uh, this act where our country of China started giving us as a gift to other countries to, strengthen diplomatic relationships. I really love that we, have essentially moved on from being animals into being literally political relationship builders, if you may. And it's not new, actually. You way back in the Tang Dynasty, like about, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, the Empress Wu Zhaitang, she handed pandas as a pair of gift to Japan. And of course, now it's moved away from gifting to, helping spread ongoing panda conservation and raising awareness for it, raising funds for it, and yes, that's in part of being a part of such a huge country like China. I see, and I mean, it's kind of wonderful to be in the center of the diplomatic relationship of a of such a huge country. You also said that your main thing in your habitat is bamboo, and because of course, you eat it a lot. What? How would you describe your relationship with this plant species? Like, what's the thing that goes on? Like, how much do you eat it, and all that stuff. Yes. It's been said now again and again, but this is that one thing that we mainly eat, and that is bamboos. Our cousins, if you may, most bears, they usually are omnivores, and have a variety of things to eat. Fish, fruit, all sorts of stuff. That bear in a Jungle Book, Bare Necessities, eating insects and honey and all that stuff. Yeah, but you know as I said, bears eat nuts, seeds, leaves, flowers, insects, all sorts of things, and of course honey. Even our other distant cousins, way up there in the in the icy polar regions, the polar bears, they are most carnivorous type of bears. They eat fishes and seals. They're pretty dangerous. I've seen blood spots all over their white fur. But we were pretty unique. About like 3 million years ago, the species kind of evolved to eating just plants, and specifically bamboo, of course. And now our diet is like 99% bamboo shoots and leaves. What do you have for dinner today? Oh, I just have bamboo salad. What do you have for breakfast today? Oh, I have I don't know, bamboo sandwich or something like that. It's just bamboo, 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 bamboo all over. And when, in case we are not eating bamboos, we might turn into things like pumpkins or kidney beans or wheat. We also eat tiny insects and small mammals, although I'd say that's pretty rare, and very rare, rarer than how much frequently we eat bamboos. But yeah, but since we eat a lot of bamboos, our body kind of has to fit in with this habit of eating bamboos every now and then. We have genetically adapted to eating specifically bamboos. We have thumb-like extensions, or the pseudo thumb, to grasp bamboo stalks and break them before eating. You would have seen those pictures of just holding bamboos and just munching on them like it's nothing. We also have like a straw jawbone like teeth, so we can chew on them bamboos. Large molars to crush them, grind them, because it's a very tough thing to eat. We also have a unique taste perception where we can taste bitter things, which is part of our plant-based diet evolution that has happened. It makes us easier to detect if there are any potentially harmful things like the cyanide or nicotine or nicotine, which have distinctive bitter taste. So we will immediately know this is poisonous. We're not supposed to eat it. Wow, that's nice. Interesting fact to think that despite being coming from the bear community, you have such a completely different style of diet, choice of diet. So bamboos and pandas essentially just basically go together. Since you are part of this whole bear community, how does this difference in food play out? Like the fact that you eat a set of things that are completely different from the usual bear community. The interesting fact is that we, as giant pandas, we spend like about 16 hours a day just eating bamboo, which we just take it out from the ground with our strong paws and just munch on them. However, there is a tiny bit of problem because we are from the bear community. Our digestive system somewhere, I don't know, maybe they lagged in the software update that came for us pandas. They don't kind of suit our herbivorous lifestyle, and actually closely resemble the one the meat-eating bears have. So the things, I think they just, I don't know, our stomachs weren't present when the evolution happened. I guess. So because we only feast on bamboo, and our system is like, hey, I'm not built for eating bamboo. What's going on here? It takes a lot bamboo time to digest bamboo, and plus, it doesn't have a lot of nutrients. So we need to eat a lot to get those nutrients. We can weigh up to 12. We can eat up to 12 kgs of bamboo per day. Wow, 12 kgs of bamboo per day. That's a lot. Yes, absolutely. That's a lot. And there's another problem that comes with this 12 grams of bamboo per day thing, and that's kind of embarrassing to say, but we poop. We poop a lot. Like we poop around, I don't know, 100 times each day. That must be really weird. Yeah, because our stomachs, like, they haven't evolved, as I said, to, eat all of that bamboo. Our stomachs are like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? I'm not prepared to take in bamboos. I wasn't given the update that we'll be eating bamboos from now on. So, which means whatever we take in, most of it just comes out as waste. And we even poop while we're sleeping. And eventually there's poop all around us, and we're just lying asleep in it. Wow, that's kind of weird, but as you said, I mean, it's something that makes you unique in your bear family, in the bear community. That's what makes you unique. But yeah, pooping all day even while you're sleeping, and that's weird. Since you said you eat like 12 kgs of bamboo per day, do you exercise? Like, I've seen pictures of pandas climbing trees and all that. Like, since you guys live in forests around trees, you must be into climbing and all that stuff. So like, does that happen? Did you climb trees often? Of course, we climb trees a lot. We're also really good at swimming. We don't occasionally often just throw ourselves into rivers and be like, yeah, let's have a swimming competition or something like that. No, that's not that. But we do swim, and I can completely understand why people might think so. I mean, like, look at us, we are chunky, we're chubby, and we're like short leg bodies. We're like, people are like, oh, they're so cute, they're so fluffy, they're so giant. But we are good at swimming and climbing. We can climb like I don't know, 3.9 kilometers. I mean, 13,000 feet. I mean, if we had the equipment, we'd be up there on the Mount Everest before any human could. But we're also kind of lazy. So yeah, that because we feed on the higher slopes of the bamboo forest during the summer season, because it's too hot and all the fur doesn't help. We also climb trees, using our claws and heads to cling on to the tree trunks and, just make our way upward. Our swimming is not some sort of thing that we do for entertainment, something like that. It's just that we often use it to kind of run away from predators. Just throw ourselves in the body and swim away so that no predator catches us. And or we, in winter when the snow melts, we're like, okay, winter is ending, season is ending, might as well just slap a few water things on water droplets on each other, and that we don't go underwater. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't dive underwater. Aside from swimming and eating and climbing, which is pretty much it, what else are you guys into? Sleeping. We have just two hobbies. I mean, I won't count swimming and climbing as hobbies. I mean, climbing is mostly, we folks looking for food, and swimming is as we folk just trying to save our lives. But when it comes to hobbies, we got only two of them, and that's eating and sleeping. And as I said, we eat a lot, and hence we sleep a lot. Not like humans, like those couch potatoes. No, that's not the case. We actually, we divide our day, and we take about 2 or 4 hours of naps over the course of 24 hours, part by part. Yeah, and so that would amount to about 12 to 16 hours of day of eating, and the remaining 8 to 12 hours just sleeping. Come to think of it, most humans also sleep like for 8 to 12 hours. Except they do it in one go, and we do it like in parts and bits. Yeah. But in summer, I mean, it lasts longer. The naps are longer, and we either sleep on our backs or just curled up on us. It's curled up on our sides. It's a very fascinating thing. Yeah. a lot of eating and a lot of sleeping. Yep. So, what are the other things that make pandas stand out in general? That's a good question because I love talking about it. As I said, I love talking about what makes us special. And one thing is that there's loads of things that differentiate us from bears, and here's one another, and that's we don't hibernate like in other bears. We don't have hibernation. So because unlike the meat eating bears, which get like about 60 to 90% of their energy from the food they eat, it's a lot of meat, and we don't. We are bamboo eaters, so we get like less than 20% of power from bamboo. That's not a lot of power. So there is no way you can hibernate for a month. Like essentially, especially if what we eat gets half thrown out of our poop, so we won't have a lot of energy to hibernate, or the nutrients to hibernate for. So, we gotta eat. It's part of us now. What we do though is that when temperatures drop in winter, we go down to the lower elevations. We go down the mountain, and we go to the parts of forests that are warmer. Avoid the cold parts. That's one thing. I think other bears should also do that. Why are you hiding under and hibernating for like, I don't know, months and months? You just find a place that's warmer, right? Yeah, just find a place that's warmer. Learn from us. Yeah, there's one more thing that makes us pandas special, and that is we are living fossils. We haven't evolved a lot in the millions of years of time we have spent on Earth. We have just, the only thing that's happened is just we've gotten a little larger, just gotten a little bigger, we just gained a little too much weight. I think maybe if gym existed when we first came into being, maybe we would be fitter, but no, we couldn't. There weren't any gyms, so we didn't pay attention to our physical appearance, and we just gained weight, and now we're like chubby, fat. Yeah. Our earliest pandas, the ones initially, they were like 1 meter long. Now we're like 1.9 meters, so we've grown up a lot. That's for sure. So we're living fossils. As I said, we haven't really evolved a lot. Just take a look at our stomachs. Clearly, they didn't get the software update when we were, turning ourselves into herbivores, going all vegan and stuff. One more thing is that, which also relates to, our importance. We're not just special, we're also important because, we play a huge role in the ecosystem we are present in. The health of bamboo. So you see, bamboos are plants that, they grow fast. And because of that, they can just, crowd the forest. But because we eat bamboo, we are reducing the amount of bamboos that appear. And so we are keeping the growth cycle of bamboos under check. We're like, bamboos, slow down. You can't have a lot of your cells around in this place. Yeah, if we weren't there, it would become impossible for other species to stay in forests that just constantly are full bamboos. Bamboos here, bamboos there, bamboos everywhere. And our poop, our feces, because it's a lot, it acts as a natural fertilizer, and enriching soil with nutrients, supporting plant growth. So we are very crucial to the environment. That's really amazing. Given all this uniqueness that pandas have, it's of course really important to preserve your community. As you said, you are important to the ecosystem, to the environment. You guys used to be endangered, but now the status has moved to vulnerable, as I explained earlier. So endangered would be those that are closer to the risk of extinction, while the vulnerable is a better status than endangered. So how was the conservation effort played out? Like what were the things that were involved in the conservation effort? A lot of things, actually. Conservation efforts involve a lot of things. You try and protect a species, you try and protect their habitat, you try and make sure that nobody is going out there and unaliving them like their life depended on it. So the first thing would be that our habitat was preserved. Bamboos There were bamboos present in national parks and natural reserves, so where we can roam and just feed on them, guys. And national parks, natural nature reserves, all of these are essential in habitat preservation. And of course, this is bamboo reforestation, growing them bamboos everywhere, so we have our source of food back, because food keeps you alive. Yes, and all the unaliving things, the anti-poaching measures, the poaching that was happening, the unaliving of us cute pandas, it was controlled, prevented, and removed, so that we don't die, we aren't killed, because some people think that we are easy to kill. And of course, one essential part in conservation is getting humans to understand the boundaries that we wildlife have. Like, you guys talk about privacy and boundaries, guys. We also have privacy, we also have boundaries. Please, please take care of them. Please respect our boundaries. You guys talk a lot about boundaries, so kind of respect our boundaries, please, here. Yeah. And of course, extensive research and monitoring us, and having those programs for breeding, so we have more and more little baby pandas, and having local communities understand, having them involved in the conservation efforts, and bringing together all sorts of international organizations, governments, researchers, and do what I'm doing, spread awareness about pandas. And then there's climate change, so tackle that, so it doesn't directly impact panda habitats. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a few basic things. I mean, despite conservation, you're still in the threatened species group, the vulnerable category. Are there still any threats that your community faces? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of the things that are part of the conservation are active efforts, because there are still threats. Like, we still face habitat loss. Our habitat is still being destroyed due to all the human activities. Building top buildings, building top structures. Agriculture, infrastructure, all sorts of things. Guys, just like us. Grow one plant and eat it for the rest of your life, or breed one animal and just eat it for the rest of your life. Like us, guys, like learn from us, seriously. And of course, climate change. For some reason, I think humans love change, so much so that now they are changing the climate. That's a lot of change, not good. And so there's a lot of bamboo uneven growth, like irregular production of seeds. And so because of that, we can often face food shortages. And to be fair, I mean, there's no way we can voice our food shortages when there are literally humans that are suffering from food shortages. Like, you guys can't even feed yourselves. How the heck are you gonna feed us? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right. And of course, all the things that I meant in the conservation efforts, they're still happening, like poaching, and humans, humans just entering our spaces. Like, guys, privacy. God gosh. And yeah, that's all sorts of things that we face. And of course, we also have low reproductive rates, because our females give birth to like only 1 or 2 cubs at a time, which means that it's not easy to build the population up. So, and there's a lot of genetic diversity that's lacking because we have a small population size, and which can cause a lot of problems. So it's there, but I'm hopeful, because if we can go out from endangered to vulnerable, we can definitely go above that and be at a safe position where we aren't at the threat of being those animals that you remember in paintings and fossils. Yeah, no. Well, at least on the bright side, if we do ever go extinct, we'll at least have our pictures up. But let's hope we don't go extinct. Definitely. I mean, we're all hopeful that your community continues to grow, and one day when I'll have you again on the show, you might not be part of a vulnerable community, but in fact a part of a community that's out there, bigger, better, and thriving. Mr. Xiaongmao, it was really great talking to you today here, and I hope I was able to give you the space to talk about the issues that are addressing your panda community. And I also hope that my audience would have loved this conversation that I had with you today. Thank you for bringing me here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like, I really love talking to you. I love talking about panda communities. So please support pandas. Please, please, please spread awareness about pandas, and, have more of their cute pictures. Thank you again, and as we end this show, I would want you to please subscribe for more interesting podcasts in the future. Bye!